Good morning and welcome to Waking Up with Don. April is coming up really fast, and April also happens to be Autism Awareness Month. And I have here in the studio today, I've got Joanna and Michelle, and they're from the Autism Society of the Emerald Coast. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Now, you guys are here for a reason. You've got an event that's coming up, and you're trying to raise awareness and maybe a little bit of money for the Autism Society of the Emerald Coast. What's the event?
The event is actually a color run. So,
A color run. Could you please describe a color run?
Okay, color run. It's basically a fun run, and there will be 8 color stations. And while you're running, you'll be pelted with cornstarch, which is colored.
Just to add an extra dimension of fun
to it.
It's always great fun. We want to have fun in my house. We throw cornstarch, yes. But seriously, now, both of you ladies are moms, right?
I'm going to be soon.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations.
6 months. So we got a few more months to go, and we'll have a baby boy. So.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
Thank you.
Now, how did you get involved with the society?
Well, I work with Miss Aki, and we've gotten pretty close in the last 8 months, and her son has autism, so she made it important to me.
Oh, good. You're a good friend for doing that. Now, both of you ladies actually work together, right?
Yes.
And in the spirit of full disclosure, you're both Air Force people.
Yes.
And you're here, as civilians.
Civilian folk.
And you're doing a little fundraising for a good cause, which a lot of military people do. Military people just make good citizens for the most part.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
we
and you do.
appreciate
And thank
it.
you for stepping up and doing this interview as well, because it is a good cause. Because I'm the parent of a young man on the spectrum, and I know the challenges that lie ahead. I mean, my guy's 18, and it's a long slog. I mean, it's a constant battle to make sure you get the right schools, he gets the right therapies, all that stuff. It's a constant worry. Now, how long have you known that your son had autism?
My son was diagnosed at age 3, so
Okay.
I knew for quite a while.
How old is he now?
He is 9 now.
Okay.
Yes, and he's on the severe end of the spectrum. So my husband and I were also both active duty military, so you can just imagine the challenges of raising a child with a disability. And I have to say that the best aspect for us is just the education along the way. So, robust programs like the Youth Center and things of that nature have made it possible for us to both continue on with our careers. So,
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's, my wife was a kindergarten teacher, and then when my son was diagnosed and we had moved to Florida, she just made her a full-time job, was a caregiver to this little boy with autism. And you tap into deep reserves of strength and patience you'd never thought you'd have when you have a kid like that. Do you find that the case as well?
Definitely, I do. Basically trying to change mindsets too, So it's been a struggle every duty station that we've been to, but I'm very grateful for the support that I have, at Herbert Field.
It is so common. When my son was diagnosed at age 2, he was diagnosed rather early. He was a little older than 2 years old. The statistics were 4 in 10,000 kids were on the spectrum. Now it's 1 in 88, which makes it more common than Down syndrome or childhood diabetes. So it's something I think everybody needs to learn about, and we'll talk more about that on the other side of this commercial break. And your local weather brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don, and I'm talking to some very nice ladies from the Autism Society of the Emerald Coast. Did I get that right?
Yep,
you did.
You have
You
it
guys
correct.
are getting this color run or fun run together on April 5th, is that right?
Correct.
Autism. We talked about how prevalent it is now. What have you learned just being involved in this? What have you learned about autism?
I've learned that it's something that isn't publicized enough. People don't know enough about it, and I think it's important to get that word out, because parents go through a lot when they have children that have autism. Just in the last couple months that I've been working with Miss Aki and amongst other folks in the program, it's amazing to me what they've gone through and the thick skin that they have to have when they go out to eat and their child starts beating on the table and people just stare.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there. Yeah.
And you have to have a thick skin to deal with that. And I think it's important for people to understand that sometimes it's not the parents. Sometimes the child has autism. Sometimes it's not something that the parent can stop.
We used to get that too. We would hear people whisper like, "What a brat!" Like people, "Oh, that kid's out of control. His parents."
They should have kept him at home.
He spends too much time in front of the TV.
Yeah.
That was a great one. I used to love that, because people just don't know.
They just don't have the information.
And these kids are beautiful kids. I mean, if not that Down syndrome kids aren't beautiful, but at least if you see a Down syndrome kid, he's got an issue.
Right.
Kids with autism, they look like you and I.
Yeah.
Except it's just the behaviors that make them different.
That puzzle piece. It's the puzzle piece.
That's right. That puzzle piece is really really true. The military, are they doing a good job with you guys?
Oh yes, doing a great job. A matter of fact, I'm being stationed at Herbert Field. We've actually, my son attends the youth center on base, and they've actually adapted the facility to include my son. I'm a strong believer of inclusion, where my son can be, with the normal children, with normally functioning children, to where he can learn some of their social norm skills.
Right.
So they've adapted the facility. My son's nonverbal, so he operates off the PEC system, which is the pitcher system, and so it's as you walk in the doorway, there's picture systems to where he can communicate to the other children and to the staff.
And there are pictures also. Sign language has been useful for kids like that as well.
Correct.
We did a little bit of that with our son when he was younger. What advice now you're expecting, right?
I am.
And you're a young mom with a young boy. What advice would you give expectant moms or new moms what they should be on the lookout for?
I know for me, the repetitive behaviors. My son, one of the things that he would, as a baby, he could sit and look at the ceiling fan for hours. It just seemed to entertain him,
Sure.
So just those key indicators with the milestones, with the talking, and then the
your
repetitive.
pediatrician would
Yes,
certainly
definitely
identify that right away. My son used to line things up when he was able to play more. He would line his shoes up. He would line his shoes up. He had a real had a lot of OCDs at a very young age. So at any rate, we're out of time. But I really thank you guys for coming on the show and bringing more attention to this problem, and also Autism Awareness Month. Let's make sure people are aware of this. And we'll be right back after your Max Biz tip for the week from Zenobia.
Hi, Zenobia Andrews here, your business system strategist, and I am delighted to be here inside the Max Out Studios bringing you your Max Biz tip for today. Now, as I catch my breath, our topic all week long has been things to consider when building your website. Things to consider when building your website, and today's topic is try affiliate marketing on your website. Try affiliate marketing on your website. And you say, well, what is affiliate, or what is an affiliate? It's an individual or a group who's interested in posting a link on their website leading to yours. And the benefit of using an affiliate link or an affiliate on your website, there's several different benefits, but I'll name 3. Number 1, they promote your products or services, right? Then number 2, they encourage their contacts to do business with you. So they're driving their contacts, their community to your website. And then number 3, our last benefit of using an affiliate on your website is they help you earn income from their efforts. They help you make money from their efforts. It's a no-brainer. You absolutely want to consider using affiliate marketing on your website. Hey, I'm Zenobia Andrews, your business system strategist, and I am here to support you. You can reach me at www.zenoviaandrews.com. Hey, if you follow me on social media, I'll follow you back, and let's continue to press towards the max.
Welcome back. I've got your vocal tip of the week here from Pamela Elliott from Elliott Vocal Studios. Pamela, what are we going to learn today about our voices? I mean, we talked about voice control and breath control, and we did the bubble and a whole bunch of other things. What do you got in store for us today?
Today, we're going to learn about vocal space.
Vocal space.
vocal space, the biggest vocal space that we have.
I'm not sure I know what that means, vocal space.
Well, I am going to tell you.
All right.
Okay. First of all, I want you to put your fingers right here on your larynx,
Okay.
or commonly known as the Adam's apple.
All right. I got one in there somewhere. I used to have one.
Okay. And I want
It's under
you
one of my chins now.
I want you to just, I want you to use the G-U-H sound. We're going to go, G.
G.
G. Do you
G.
feel it drop?
I do. I felt it move. G.
Okay.
You people should try this at home. It's actually kind
Yes,
of cool.
please do.
G.
G. So what
All
that does is, this larynx is where your vocal cords are housed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So where's your sound created?
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a voice
G.
box. And right behind that, of course, is the back of our throat. Well, guess what? The back of our throat is the biggest space that our sound moves through when it's created.
That's the vocal space.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So
Yeah.
that's one of the vocal spaces. I mean, so we're going to talk about this vocal space. It's the biggest and the most important in the initial space.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be super important space. When a singer is singing something and they're going higher, have you ever felt like people out there in TV land, have you ever felt like you are straining on a note?
Yeah.
Of course. The thing is because this goes up, when we get strained and these outside muscles pull our larynx up, it blocks off our main space. So it makes sense.
Right.
So if you can reach the note with being strained, then you can reach the note by relaxing and opening the space a whole lot better.
Wow, but
and
that
you can
seems like
always
it's-
reach it.
This is like automatic, though. How do you control that?
You can, that g. We just want to keep it down,
Oh,
and
I
we want to
see.
stay at speech level. If you go America the Beautiful and keep this at speech level,
Uh-huh.
then that's where you should be.
So when you say
Well,
keep it down, you keep your Adam's apple down? Is that what
yeah,
you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
If you do this, they go, ee.
E. It went
You
up.
feel, yeah, exactly. It went up, and it starts blocking off space. And we want to keep it down. Now, this is just one of the spaces that we have. There's more vocal space than that, but that's the initial vocal space, Dawn. We're going to do a little exercise. I want you to put your fingers right here, and we're just going to do this little crazy exercise with the G-U-H sound. It's go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go. I've done it all now on this show. Go, 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 go.
You can
All right?
do g. You can do
G.
this g sound. It
G.
really lowers the larynx, and it gets your larynx. We're overimposing it just a little bit, but you overimpose it to make it come into a balance. That way,
But seriously, you should try this at home because
Yes,
it actually works.
absolutely.
I feel this thing, that, move.
it's a physical thing
physical
that you can
evidence
actually
that
do.
You're right. Yeah.
So if you kind of sing like a man, if I,
Yeah.
if I was singing Amazing Grace, or I go Amazing Grace, you hear the difference when you open up more vocal space. So that is our vocal tip of the week, Dawn. And we have something else to talk about. We're going to give away a free vocal lesson with the text.
Okay, yeah, 24-24-7, text Don28 to 24-24-7, and you can win a vocal lesson
With me.
with Pamela Elliott, the expert at Elliott Vocal Studios.
Yes.
Well, Pamela, thanks so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And I think really people should try this at home because
Absolutely.
it really, really works.
Sure
That's cool
does.
stuff. Looking forward to your next tip next week.
All right.
All right, remember that, 24-24-7, Don28. Text to win a vocal lesson with Pamela Elliott. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don, and I've got a special guest here, kind of a magical guest. I have Noah Wells, a local magician. Noah, welcome to the show.
Don, thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so being a magician, do people ask you, like, what instrument do you play?
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I would have a lot of money. I'll tell you that for sure. But it's just the way it goes, It's kind of a tongue twister as well, So
Yeah, not more of a tongue twister than prestidigitation.
That's
my word for today.
that's a good one too.
How'd you get started?
I started magic when I was 7 years old. I grew up in East Texas, but my grandparents, they live in Branson, Missouri. And every summer we would go visit my grandparents. And when I was 7, they took me to see a magic show. And that night, the magician on stage needed a kid to help out with an illusion on stage. And it was my lucky night. I got to go on stage and assist him. And I don't know that it meant much to me then, but after the show I did what every young kid does. I bought a little magic set and had 5 tricks inside. And I was hooked ever since, and I practiced those same 5 tricks over and over. and I was fortunate to have a magic shop right near the school that I grew up going to in East Texas, and I just started doing magic every year. So.
And so you just built your act up from those 5 little basic tricks.
That's when it started, absolutely.
And now you're a professional magician.
Exactly. I went back to see the same magician every summer in Branson, Missouri. When I was 14, he offered me a job, which was going to be a summer job. At the end of the summer, he was very happy with what I was doing for him, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do for a living. And he said, "Would you like to work for me full time?" And I said, well, all I have to do is convince my mom to let me move in with my grandparents and live here in Branson. And if I could do that, then I would love to do this. And my mom was my biggest supporter. And so she said, it's tough for me. You know, she moved up later on, but she let me, live with my grandparents. And so I started working for this guy full time. His name is Kirby Van Birch. He's still out in Branson. He has the biggest magic show in Branson. And he's the one that got me started. I worked with him for 5 years. Then I moved here to Panama City Beach when I was 18. I had an opportunity to start my own career, and I've been here ever since.
That's an amazing story, because if you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, I could tell you, okay, you got to go to this school, you got to go to that school, you got to go to medical school, you got to go to law school. How do you become a magician? I mean, there's no magician school, is there? I mean,
there is, but there's not very many. And the other thing is, I typically call myself an illusionist. I am a magician, but I do big stage illusions, like I saw my wife in half, I make her levitate, things like that. There's not really a school that teaches you how to do that. Really, the only way is to work for another professional magician.
You have to be, it's like an apprenticeship.
Exactly. It's exactly what it was.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I got him right here. We got to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, maybe you can show me a trick or two.
I'd love to. Sounds good.
We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don. I'm here with Noah Wells, a local magician.
Hey, Don.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on the show. Are you going to do a little trick for us real
Absolutely,
quick? Or
yes.
some magic, perhaps?
Sure, not a problem. What magician would be complete without a card trick, right?
Naturally.
So I'm going to make a prediction first, okay? And my prediction is going to go right there on the table. So you can even keep a hand on it, but don't look at it just yet.
Okay.
Is that cool?
All right.
And I'll show you the cards here, and I'll show the camera the cards. They're all different.
Yeah.
As you guys can hopefully see, all the cards are different. And if you'll make a pointing finger for me, that's a good choice, all right?
Okay.
I want you to touch the back of any card that you want.
I could have put up another finger, but
No, I'm glad
it
you
is a
didn't.
family show. So. All right, just
Go
point
ahead.
to any
card you want, whichever one jumps out at you.
Yeah,
just
okay.
touch.
This
All
fella
now
right here.
I'm going to bring it to the top, and that was a fair choice. You can
Okay.
keep this card, or you can change your mind right now. What would you like to do?
I'll keep it.
You're going to keep it.
I kind of like it.
That means that you're happy with the mind that you have.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your card and place it right there on the table next to my prediction, okay?
Okay.
Now for the big moment here, okay? Go ahead and turn the card that you selected over. Go ahead and turn it over. And
Okay.
it's the 7 of clubs. That's perfect. The 7 of clubs. And go ahead and turn over the prediction and see what it says. What does it say?
You will not pick a joker.
You will not pick it. How did I do? Was that pretty good?
It was pretty good.
Hang on a second. No. It gets a little bit better. I said you want to pick a joker, but look, see, if I show you the cards, they're all jokers. And, so that's pretty amazing that you didn't pick a joker. You see that? Every single card is a joker. So you picked the only card that was not. So that was a pretty good trick, wasn't it?
I feel like I've been joked here.
Exactly.
Well, Mick, can you teach me how to do a card trick?
Yes, I'd love to. I did bring a trick that I've been doing magic my whole life, but I just learned this one a few days ago, and I love it. So this is pretty cool. I brought a regular pack of playing cards here, and the highest card in the deck is the ace. Am I right?
That's
so
right.
We've got 4 aces here. We're going to go ahead and lose these into the pack one at a time. We can go ahead and drop one down low. We'll put one in a little higher, a little bit higher. Another one goes in. Doesn't really matter where they go in, because this is going to be pretty cool what we're going to do here. We're going to give the cards a quick shuffle as well, like that. Very good. And I'm going to drop the cards right here into my pocket.
Okay.
All right, nothing up my sleeves, I
Oh,
promise.
that old
but
line.
one
I haven't
at a
heard that
time.
100 times.
One at a time, I'm going to remove a card. Just like that. I found one of the aces.
Ace of clubs.
Another one here. Hopefully one of the highest cards in the deck. The ace of spades.
Ace of
There it
spades.
is.
Okay.
All right. Trying to find the other one. That feels like it. That's it right there. There it is. The ace of diamonds.
Wow.
And, of course, all the aces were shuffled into the deck. But just like that, all 4 aces.
And
right
you
back
pull
in
those
the
right
deck.
out of the deck,
That's
just like
it.
that.
Just like magic. You ready for the secret?
Yeah, what is the secret?
The secret is...
Who's going to give away a secret?
I don't normally do this, but,
Okay.
but I'm in a good mood today, so I'm going to teach you the secret. The secret is you need 2 packs of cards that are identical. I have a blue back deck of bicycle cards that you can get at any store you want to get them at. So you need actually the 4 aces from a second deck of cards, okay? So I actually had 8 aces in play. I didn't have just the 4. The 4 that we shuffled into this pack of cards, they stayed right where they're at. It would have been very difficult for me to find those 4 aces. But what I didn't tell you is that before the trick started, inside my pocket, I had 4 more aces identical. So all I did was put the deck right on top of those 4 aces that were already in my pocket. Then it makes it very easy to remove.
Just pull them all out
the
there.
duplicate aces.
But the other tricks that you do are a lot more sophisticated than that, I'm sure. And this is a good starting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I tell a lot of young kids to check out YouTube. There's so many magic tricks that you can learn. When I was a kid, YouTube was not around. I had to read books. I had to, you know, DVDs were not even around yet either. So I had the VHS tapes and stuff like that, you know. But kids have it very easy nowadays. If you want to learn how to do magic, it won't cost you any money. You just check out YouTube or something like that. But
no, Wells, we're so out of time. It's not funny. I could sit here and watch you do these magic tricks all day long. You got a rabbit in your pocket or anything like that?
Not today.
No doves or any critters in there? Okay, thank goodness. But thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing your act again real soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been watching Waking Up with Don, and we'll see you next time.